Hello, 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 and welcome back to an all new episode here on the Desensitized channel. As always, my name is Darius Cook, joined ever by Dan Cast.
Hello. Hello, everybody. It's been a while. Not often we actually have schedules that line up. So I'm excited to finally record another video because you've been seeing a lot of Darius by himself lately.
Oh, that's right. Well, they haven't seen my face too much. I like to hide behind the screen without you. You give me confidence. So now that you're here, I'm ready to have an exciting, fun episode today. We're in the middle of the summer. How it's the dog days of the summer. How's your summer going so far?
Pretty good. Picked up a new hobby as you know by now. I've just been playing tennis almost every day, so that's been consuming most of my days when I have time off. And then
Yeah,
likewise
word
for
on the
you.
block is they're calling you the Prince of Tennis.
I hope so. That's what I'm trying to be.
Well, I'll be the prince of pickleball because that's what I've been up to this summer. I've been playing pickleball, I've been doing improv, and I've been pumping out videos on this channel. But yeah, I'm ready to keep the summer going. How about you?
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Well, with that, even though we are technically in the middle of the summer, the anime release schedule works a little bit differently. So we are technically on the tail end of the spring anime season, and coming starting in July, we are going to be beginning the summer anime season lineup. And so for today's video, I want to run down all the anime that are coming back for their next season here in the summer of 2025. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, the first one is one that I know that you're going to be excited about. It's one that I'm very excited about as well, and that is the return of Dandadan.
Honestly, I'm just so shocked how quickly they turned around another season. Like they had to have been like pre-making it at this point. Like when
Oh
they
yeah,
finished the season, they already announced like, "Hey, the new season's coming out in like 6 months." I'm like, "What the hell?" Like,
yeah. That's going to be a recurring theme in a lot of these that we're talking about. I feel like this is the summer of immediate returns. What's crazy is I've noticed this trend in anime in general is that it seems like they're working on a 24 episodes of a show, but then breaking it up into two 12 episode segments and calling them different seasons, which gives them the freedom to still be working on the rest of it while they release it and get quicker release out of it. What do you think of that release schedule?
I don't think that's too bad just because a lot of might even be better because a lot of animes will only have 12 episode seasons and then wait a year. I think it's good as long as you're not doing it like how, Netflix did with JoJo's where they released a fraction of it, then waited like a year, gave you another one like that. No, like I
Mhm.
like how they can segment it into like two different seasons. And if they can turn them around even quicker, that's even better because then, it's not long enough to where the hype fully dies down. Like I still think about Dandadan, and I'm like, okay, I still want to watch this. But if a year or
Mhm.
so or longer passes by, I'm like, I don't know if I care too much anymore. I'll have to rewatch it because I forgot parts. So honestly, it might even
Mhm.
be a better idea.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think JoJo Stone Ocean is the bad example of this, where it seems like they were going for this type of structure, but it was still taking a year plus at a time to get each little core out, and it didn't feel like we were really making progress. I feel like a good example of this would be Bleach Thousand Year Blood War arc. They operate in a similar release structure. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah. They have been. They've been releasing it in parts. Actually, I don't remember how many episodes they've been releasing at a time. I want to say like 12, but maybe it's like 8. But regardless, yeah, it with Bleach, it doesn't feel nearly as bad as JoJo's did. Yeah, the JoJo's one just felt so bad. I could tell people online were losing hype about it. I feel like I still see people posting about Bleach, the new season of Bleach, being hype about the new season of Bleach. Whereas I feel like once the first part of Stone Ocean dropped, like shortly after, people stopped talking about it because they're like, oh, well, we're not going to get this until a long
Hmm.
time. So
It seems to be a trend that anime is leaning more and more towards right now, getting quicker releases between seasons and splitting them up into these 12 episode kind of blocks. And it's a trend that I'm happy for because, over the last 5 to 10 years, I think there's been some growing pains. Back in the day, anime would just air forever. We would get crazy length episode seasons. And there's been some growing pains with the industry trying to figure out its pace. But if this is the future of pacing for anime drops, I'm totally here for it. But to kind of reshift the conversation back to Dandadan specifically, I don't know if you heard, they actually released the first three episodes of this season in theaters.
I did hear about that. Honestly, that's another trend that a lot of animes have been doing lately. They give you the early previews. They maybe have a little bit of different things. That way it makes you want to actually rewatch the episodes when they come out because they are slightly different. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. I mean, I think it's fine, honestly, if they can make more money and, some people are willing to go ahead and just watch it then. I think for me personally, I wouldn't want to watch 3 episodes and then have to wait for the actual season to come out. And then you have to wait for those
Hmm.
3 episodes to finish if you don't feel like rewatching them. So normally I'm
Right,
I'm
you have to wait 3 more episodes, and then the extra week, it's a whole month after the point where you would
exactly.
actually be caught back up.
So for me personally, I'm not a big fan of it, but it's not like it does any harm for me. If anything, in my eyes, if the production studio can make more money, ideally they should have a better product. So if it's lucrative for them, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it overall. In this case, like, it would've been if I went to go see I didn't see the movie yet, or I want to, but I think I might have missed my opportunity. But if I went to see it in theaters 2 weeks ago, I actually would have been waiting 5 weeks until I was fully caught back up, with the narrative and then consuming new content. So, I'm not mad at it in the sense that, a lot of the time they're big fights, and I've heard that in theaters, this segment of Dandadan is awesome. They say that you should watch it on a big screen. So it seems like it's worth the value of seeing it in a theater. Um, that being said, I do like to consume anime along with the community, episodes at a
Yeah.
time. And so losing that is a bit of a sacrifice. But overall, if the anime industry wants to keep doing this trend, I'm not mad at it at all. And I've heard that the first 3 episodes are great. And so that definitely gives us something to get hyped about for this season of Don to Don as well.
Yeah, and kind of to jet back in the sense with JoJo's, like I remember I had caught up with the anime while part 5 was still releasing, and I remember how cool it was, like seeing everyone hype week to week to week to week, and it was like JoJo Fridays or whatever, you know what I mean? And people were posting memes and talking about the episode, and that was so much cooler. To whereas like the next part I got to watch was that release schedule, and it was just horrible, but.
That's one thing I like about the anime industry, honestly, is a lot of, with streaming content and binge models, a lot of things drop with all their episodes all at once. And anime is kind of the last bastion. I know there's some Netflix anime that drop all at once, and you'll see that on Hulu and whatnot. And of course, people are going to come to anime over the years, later on and be able to binge this content anyways. But getting to consume a piece of media week to week with people and talk about that community wise online and whatnot is such a fun aspect. And it's something we're losing a lot in like live action media. Only HBO is still doing it really. But still getting that as part of my anime experience is so fun.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I feel like half of enjoying anime is seeing all the edits and stuff as soon as the episodes finish and just people stop or people talking about it and stuff. So,
And I feel like I remember an anime so much more, like a full season of anime when I'm watching it week to week, because I'm digesting it, I'm thinking of theories, I'm talking about it with friends in between episodes. Whereas when I binge it, it's awesome and like that's a very fun way to consume an anime. But years down the line, I usually don't remember it as well as I do when I watch it week to week.
yeah, it's like a match, burns bright for a second, then fizzles out way quicker than for example a candle, I guess.
Yeah, so we'll see if Dandadan can live up to the hype of season one. I'm really curious to see if we get a better theme song. I mean, they came out the gate with such a great theme song in season one. It's like probably one of the best anime theme songs like ever already. We got to see if they can do it again in season two because they've got big shoes to fill here.
Oh yeah. I'm such a sucker for a good opening or closer. I've got a playlist full of them, so I expect the utmost from Dandadan.
Well, that'll be coming out on July 3rd, so mark your calendars for that.
It's pretty soon.
The next one on our list, I don't know if you saw this one coming. This one is particularly hyped for this channel because this is a series that we covered a lot in the first few videos on this channel, and that is Kaiju number 8, coming back for season 2.
I'm so excited about that. Honestly, that's an anime that I really enjoyed and I thought was awesome at the time. That's not to say anything, but I kind of forgot about it almost. And then
Mhm.
when they released or when they showed that the second season's coming out super soon, I'm like, oh my god, I forgot about this anime. This is awesome. I'm so excited to see this. But it was something that like I completely forgot about. Even though it had a really good opening as well. I was a fan of that opener
Yeah, Kaiju number 8 came out early in the year, and it felt like people were acknowledging it when it
for
came out,
sure.
like, "Oh, this is a pretty good anime, like, this is getting in the mix." But then Dandadan came out, Free Ring came out, Solo Leveling Season 2 came out, and it feels like there were just all these other bigger anime that took up the space of the conversation of like, what is the best anime coming out, like new gen animes and whatnot. And Kaiju number 8, you're right, it kind of got forgotten. And Kaiju number 8 is good, but the storytelling, the scale of the storytelling is a little bit smaller than those other anime that I just mentioned. And so I'm excited to get back into the mix of it because it was one that I was super high on. And I feel like it has a lot of potential to like grow into being just a really big anime.
No, 100%. If they can keep even like the same level that they had in season one, I don't doubt that this will definitely be one of like the better new gen ones that have been coming out.
And I feel like Kaiju number 8 has like where it shines the most is its ensemble cast. Like sometimes to compare it to Fire Force, I don't know why I feel like they're kind of similar quality TV shows. Maybe it's because there's a kind of a similar animation style to it, but I am so much more endeared to the characters, like the ensemble characters in Kaiju number 8 than I am Fire Force. I think Fire Force is better overall, but I think that that's an area where it shines a little bit better and something that makes me want to come back. Of course, I want to know what's going to happen next with Kafka and everyone knowing that he's a kaiju now. But I want to know what's going on with Reno, with the girl, and some of the other people on their team as well.
When you watch so many animes, there's only so many names you can keep stored in your brain, especially side
I think
characters.
her name's Kikaro or Kikaru, something like that. Next one, this one you might not be quite as excited for, but this is a personal big one for me. Sakamoto Days is already back with its second season as well.
Yeah, I tried watching it, got a couple episodes in. I fell behind a little bit, then I just started seeing people upset about it, and I'm like, I don't know if I should invest time into watching this since the general consensus from what I was seeing wasn't super great. So I was like, maybe I'll skip this one then.
Honestly, Sakamoto Days is good. It's just a branding issue, in my opinion. Like it, I think it's so easy to assume that it's going to be like a shonen, but it is closer to a gag anime than that. That being said, there are a lot of good fight scenes in it, so I would really compare it to a show like Mashal, Magic and Muscle. I think that it strikes the same level of comedy versus action and like shonen-y type trope storytellings within it. There is a lot to love there, but it's you don't need to run to it. Like I do recommend you watching it at some point, but you don't need to get there super quick or anything. It's not that topical and it's not that big of a deal. But season two, this is kind of crazy because season one just ended like more recently than Dandadan, I'm pretty sure. So like it's pretty surprising to me that they're already back with their season two. It's probably another example of the team really just working on it all the way throughout and then releasing the first half while they're still working on the second half.
Yeah, and honestly, the animators and stuff are grossly overworked. So if this makes their workload a little bit easier, I'm also for that because they are definitely mistreated and underpaid.
That's true. I mean, it's we this is something we talk about a lot in this channel, but as anime continues to become this global phenomenon, we got to save those animators. We got to make sure that they're doing okay.
I feel like even the top animators are probably not getting paid as much as they should for like how big of a role they play in the success of a lot of shows. It's crazy to think like I don't think a lot of them are making like a ton of money to where like they could do this for a couple more years and then retire. Like they have to keep working.
No, I think you're right about that, and it's a damn shame because I mean, hey, we're just two of millions of anime fans all over the world that
Exactly.
are really feeling something when we see these flashy animation sequences. You know, they're really doing something here. Pay those animators more. I'll go on strike for that. There's so many problems in the world today, but I'll go on strike for that one.
Yeah, that's what really hits home for us.
Point of the story is July 14th, Sakamoto Days will be back for more. By the way, on our channel, we do have videos breaking down Dandadan Season 1, Kaiju number 8 Season 1, and I have a video discussing Sakamoto Days as well. So if you're interested in any of those, get ready for Season 2 by going back and watching our videos on this channel. Which segues me to something I know you're excited about, something that I covered just a couple weeks ago on this channel. Dr. Stone is back for more.
Woo. Yeah, I mean I
Cass
don't
hates to see Dr. Stone coming.
no. I watched the first season. Um it was just all right. I I don't think it was bad. I just don't think it was like great. And it's also probably not an anime that like not my kind of anime, I don't think. I think it was cool seeing
It,
like the ways that they were creating stuff out of nothing, but I feel like that's something that probably translates better on a manga than like a TV show.
yeah, hey, I totally hear you. I as much as I love Doctor Stone, the anime does have its ups and downs, so it's a hard one for me to recommend for people. I will say season four is definitely a high point. It might be their best season yet, and that's one that just finished airing a little while ago. And this is going to be core two of season four, so there's going to be three cores in total, 12 episodes each. So it's interesting. Doctor Stone is doing that. Again, this one ended at the same time as Sakamoto Days, so all of the anime we talked about here their last season ended airing just a year ago. So by the time their season two comes out, some of these will have only ended just a few months before their season two, and then Kaiju number eight going all the way back to a year before season two starts. So anime fans are kind of eating in the summer, I
They
gotta say.
are. I feel like the past couple seasons have been pretty stock full of things to watch. And maybe that's a consequence of like these smaller parts to whereas like we're getting little bits and pieces more often. And then when all the shows start doing that, it's like we almost always have something to watch, which is, better
Hmm.
because there are seasons where like it is completely dry. Like there's nothing
Yeah,
decent to watch. I mean, there's probably some okay ones, but nothing that I'm gonna like sit down in my chair and really watch.
I gotta say, I think this is our third season in a row that feels relatively stacked. And these are I highlighted these four anime because it's the ones that we discuss on this channel. It's ones that I know that you or I or both of us enjoy a lot. But while these are all running, we are still getting the continuation of To Be Hero X. So we still have 12 more episodes of that show to go,
Hmm.
going right through the summer season. Lazarus is still airing on HBO. That's a bit of a softer one, but it's picking up steam as well. So those animes are still going to be going. So we got a solid season on our hands here. And then there's a couple more announcements. These aren't going to be starting quite yet, but they'll be releasing on the tail end of the summer season. And these will be releasing in the form of movies. We have the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie coming out in September.
Honestly, that's something that I feel like Demon Slayer is such a, maybe the narrative isn't as good as a lot of other animes, but it is like a spectacle to watch with like how crazy they get with some of the animation and stuff. So that honestly would probably be a pretty good watch in the movie.
No one would make the argument that Demon Slayer like is underhyped. Like everybody likes Demon Slayer. It's been touted as like the number one anime to get people to watch anime, like a starter anime in general. And I agree with you. It's all spectacle. In the last couple seasons, the hype for Demon Slayer has definitely softened a little bit. But I think returning back to the theater for these three movies to conclude the whole story, I think is going to end Demon Slayer on a super big high. I think the hype for Demon Slayer is about to come back in a big way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think as I've really thought about it, I've become maybe more jaded towards Demon Slayer because I have been seeing a lot of discourse being like it's like in the grand scheme of things it's pretty to look at, but it's not like the greatest show ever. And I'm like, honestly, if the animation was kind of mid, I don't know if I'd care about this show all too much. One thing that really put a bad like taste in my mouth was I think the creator said that yeah, these breathing techniques aren't actually happening. These are just visualizations of what's. I'm like, that sucks. Like you're telling me they're not actually
Yeah.
seeing
So,
water and
so when
fire and
Tanjiro,
like lame.
yeah, when Tanjiro does his breathing technique and we see a wave of ocean around him as he goes to slash the demon, that's metaphorical.
Like
That's just so you, the
boo.
viewer, can see what's going on. But in reality, it's just a sword hitting a demon.
Like that's something you didn't need to say. Like
It can be implied, but saying it does take some of the fun out of it. Because now I'm looking at the show, and we know that some of the other demons have like curse blood techniques that do manifest in the form of like fire and stuff like that. Like this is already a world where people can become demons and become devoured and like get
exactly.
crazy powers. Why are we stopping the bill at Tanjiro not being able to summon, water or fire power from his sword? Like that seems perfectly reasonable in the world that
No,
we set
yeah,
up here.
it's crazy. I don't get it, but I think when I saw that, I was like, man, that really sucks. I hate the idea of shows not at, like of that kind of power happening, and I think just let them have the cool powers, let everyone know that they like that's what they're seeing.
No, overall, you hit the nail on the head, though. I mean, especially if you're a big anime fan and you do watch a lot of anime, you've seen a lot of shonen. Demon Slayer isn't doing anything that unique
Mm-mm.
or isn't bringing anything new to the table outside of the spectacle. The fights are awesome, the music's amazing, and the visuals are consistently good. Yeah, it's nothing to write home about in terms of the plot, but I think that it'll be a lot of fun to see this series finally wrap up in the next year and a half or so as we see these movies drop in theaters.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch them.
Right after that, we've got Chainsaw Man coming back to theaters. It feels like it's been too long for Chainsaw
I
Man.
know.
Oh, it's kind of crazy. We've only gotten one season of Chainsaw Man, like,
And
and it looms pretty largely over the anime community overall. But like, it's been like what, 2 years or something, and now we're just getting to theaters.
yeah, and it was honestly, it's I love Chainsaw Man. It's pretty. It can be pretty uncomfortable at points, with some of the scenes, but um,
Hmm.
I thought it was great. I thought specifically like the cinematography of it was crazy. Like the angles they would shoot, like you'd think you're watching a movie. Like I feel like they explored
Yeah.
that and like JJK, especially the latest season, really explored a lot of those more like cinematic angles. I feel like that you don't always see in anime. So I thought it was really cool. I'm super excited. I will definitely be watching the movie in theaters when it drops.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man and JJK do feel like they're in their own specific space. I mean, they are
Exactly.
seinen anime and like the most popular, I suppose. But beyond that, they feel uniquely committed to tackling their storytelling from like almost like a film house artsy fartsy like point of view. The animation's always great for both. Like it's not that they don't have flashy,
Yeah.
bombastic animation and fight sequences. It just feels like there's more of an artistic care and point of view filtered through it whenever you're watching it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I feel like you're never really seeing, especially like something that's always you always see in animes, like they'll be talking and then like the background is like just like a static like lines going down, whatever. Like you're always like in the space, like it feels like it's always moving. Like even when people are
Hmm.
talking and people have like internal dialogues.
No, that's very true. Yeah, I can't wait to get Chainsaw Man back on our screens. Hopefully, we get a season to follow after that movie pretty soon as well in the fall or maybe in the winter season, but we'll see about that. I wanted to talk about one more anime on this list that's actually going to be coming out this summer in July. It's one that it's its first season. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's a popular manga recently. It's called Gachakuda. Have you heard of this?
I've heard of it. I don't know too much about it, but like from some of the panels and like stills I've seen, it does look pretty cool. I don't know the plot or anything, but I'm excited.
I'm in the same boat. I've intentionally tried to remain unaware of it. If I'm not going to read the manga of something, I'd rather just be surprised when I actually get the anime. If anyone watching this video is familiar with Gachakuda, and you can let us know in the comment section, how hype is this going to be, or some of the stuff that we might expect to get into this season? Because again, me and Cass are pretty much going into this one blind.
Yeah, and like I do want to like keep myself blind to it, akin to like what you're doing, because I feel like it's so easy to accidentally get spoiled, like certain things. Like I feel like there's something beautiful about like not knowing anything about a movie or a show, whether it be an anime or otherwise, and then being like, "Whoa, this is insane! This is awesome."
I fully agree. That's how I went into watching Freerun. I just saw that people loved it, and I intentionally didn't learn anything about it, and it was one of the best viewing experiences ever.
Oh yeah, which is also getting another season like in December or something like that, right?
Yes, I actually have that on my list. It's coming back in January of 2026, so we still have a little bit of time to go on that, but we'll be bringing in the 2026 new year right with Freerun for sure.
Yep, I am so excited for that. I fucking loved Free Run, even though I thought I would hate it.
Yeah, Freerun's amazing. We have a video discussing Freerun and reviewing the entire first season. If you go to our TikTok at Desensitized Pod, I have a video out talking about my top five personal favorite anime where I talk about Freerun as well. Yeah, Freerun goodness. I can't wait to get more of it. I hope we get 56 episodes in that season.
Yeah, if only.
But yeah, so just to recap, here's what we have to look forward to coming up here in the summer season. We've got Dandadan coming out July 3rd, Kaiju number 8, season 2, July 19th, Sakamoto Days, season 2, July 14th, and Dr. Stone on July 10th. Down the line in theaters, we've got Demon Slayer coming out in September. for the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc. Then we have the Chainsaw movie coming out in October. And then also this summer, we've got Gachakuda, which has gotcha my attention right now. And then we got Free Run coming out next year in 2026 in January. I think we got good stuff to eat coming here in the future, Cass.
Oh yeah, and hopefully, I don't think they've announced it yet, but hopefully they announce that last part of Bleach that's coming out. Um, that should
I
hopefully
was hoping
be
that'd be in this lineup.
me too. The sooner the better for me. I am such a Bleach fanboy. I heard stories of them maybe doing like a spin-off or something like that, which I would be interested in.
The Bleach train just keeps rolling, huh? Okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to bring this video to a close. So yeah, we've got a lot to look forward to, a lot more great content coming out on this channel. Don't forget to check out all the videos we have on this channel. We talk about all the fun anime and animation goodness. But for now, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next video.
See you later, guys.
Bye.